Hello everyone. Welcome back to my channel. This is your host and host Sumedha, and this video is all about 5 tips on how to excel in college exams. You all might be wondering, who am I to give tips? So, I would like to say that I have recently completed my MBA with 9 plus CGPA, and these tips were helpful for me, and I guess these will be helpful for you all too. And the first step is go through every topic in the revision session, even if not in the detail, just so that you know what is the primary concept of the topic. If you know the meaning and crux of every topic, there is no chance of you leaving the question blank or unattempted. This is definitely going to help you in reaping the partial marks or stepwise marking. If you know the meaning or at least something about the topic, we're definitely going to attempt something or write something about the topic, and we are going to get partial marks. Moving forward to the next one. Always attempt answers in the format of problem or situation analysis or introduction to the topic, discussion of the topic, possible solution, and the final and the most important part, the conclusion. In the first section, that is introduction and situation analysis, write about what the examiner is intending from you all as the answer. Write about the basic concept of the topic asked, not in the detail, just so that the examiner know that you know about the topic and you try to elongate the question in detail. Moving on to the next section, that is discussion about the topic or the situation asked. So, in this section, you are going to write about the topic in the detail. Whatever you found relevant in the first section, that is introduction or analysis section, you are going to write about all those topics in detail in this section. So, try to include these subparts for the topics you find relevant. First is meaning, second is features, third is merits and demerits, fourth is parts and subparts, and the fifth is relevance with the question. This is how you are going to frame your second part, that is discussion part. Moving on to the next section, that is the solution part. In this section, that is the solution part, you are going to write about the possible scope of improvements in the topic and all the possible aspects that can be improved regarding the topic. Also, you can include your own point of view regarding the topic or the problem asked. So, this section, that is solution part, is primarily based on how you interpret the question and how you want to frame the answer in your perspective. So, the solution can differ from person to person. Be as creative as you can with your solutions and your point of view, because this is definitely going to leave a lasting impression on the examiner's mind. And the last and the most important section is here, and it is the conclusion part. This part is going to be a game changer one, because whatever you write in this part is definitely going to get you some brownie points for sure. So, let's discuss what to write in this part. So, in this part, you are supposed to conclude all the three parts that you have written above. Now, the question arises, how to conclude? Try to include these points as a part of your conclusion. First, what problem was asked? Second, what have you discussed in the second part, that is discussion part? Third, the solution you provided for the problem or your point of view you discussed for the topic. And the fourth, a summary for all the above points. This was all about the second tip. So let's conclude what we discussed in our second tip. We have to frame our answer in this format. The first section is introduction or the analysis part. The second part is discussion for the topic. The third part is solution for the topic or discussing our own point of view. And the fourth and the most important part is the conclusion one. Moving forward to the third tip, that is writing keyword for every question in the rough work section in the first 10 minutes of the exam itself. This tip has helped me throughout my BCom as well as my MBA exams, because I used to write all the strong keywords for all the questions in the rough work section during the first 10 minutes of the exam, and this helped me in easing my worry regarding what if I forget this point later. Once we are in the middle of the exam, all stressed, we are definitely going to forget a bunch of strong points and keywords that were earlier in our mind, and we intended to write those in our answers to frame a strong one. If we have those keywords written, then there is no need to worry regarding what if I forget the point later due to stress. By this time, we have discussed three tips. The first one is revising all the topics, even if in detail or not in detail, just so that we know what is the primary meaning of the topic. And the second is dividing our answers in the four sections, that is introduction, discussion, solution, and conclusion. Now, the third tip is regarding writing all the strong keywords in the rough work section during the first 10 minutes of the exam itself, so that we don't have to worry regarding what if I forget this point later in the middle of the exam. This is now time to move forward to our next step, that is divide your time according to the number of questions asked in the paper and spare some time at the end for some highlighting and underlining. Let me tell you the relevance for this tip. Highlighting and underlining the keywords or the key points of your answers is definitely going to cast a strong impression on the examiner's mind. So, the fourth tip was regarding dividing your time according to number of questions and focusing on underlining and highlighting the key points and keywords. Always try to allocate first 10 or 15 minutes of your exam in reading the question paper so that you know what question to answer first, what answer you know well enough, and for what answer you have to think twice or give it some time. Always allocate the reading time for the paper, that is first 10 minutes, and the last 15 minutes as underlining and highlighting time. And the last tip for the video is writing summary points for every topic on a sheet itself, so that on the final day of the revision there is no need to go through bigger books. Rather, you just have 2 or 3 sheets to revise your whole syllabus from. This used to make my revision process so easy and less tiring. By this process, you are having just 2 or 3 sheets of whole syllabus rather than bigger and bulkier books to revise from. This saves your time also as well as your energy also. We have discussed all the 5 tips. Let's revise it. The first was revising every topic before the exam, whether or not in the detail, just to know the meaning and crux of the topic. The second was framing our answer in the format of introduction, discussion, solution, and conclusion. And the third was writing keywords and key points for all the answers in the rough work section in the starting of the exam itself. And the fourth one is sparing some time at the end of the paper for underlining and highlighting the key points so that the invigilator gets to know about your answer by the first glance itself. It will spare his time also, and it is going to get you some extra marks also. And the last and the fifth tip was writing summary points for every topic during the revision process, so that by the final day of revision before the exam, you are left with 2-3 sheets of summary only rather than bigger and bulkier books to revise from. This is definitely going to save your time as well as energy as well as efficiency. Although we have discussed all the 5 tips, but there is a twist. There is a brownie tip for you all. And that brownie tip is rest is best before the test. Get proper sleep, light food, appropriate clothing, so there is no external factor bothering you during the exam, and you can devote whole of your concentration on writing your answers. So these were the tips that turned out helpful for me during my exams, and I hope these tips turn out helpful for you all too. This was all about today's video. This is me Sumedha signing off. I hope to see you all in my next video. Till then, like, comment, share and subscribe to my channel. Toodles. Bye bye.